Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of The Sexual Purity Matters. As you know, this is the Nina Ear Show. I'm the host, Nina Ear, and today I'm excited. I'm excited for this episode because you're going to be hearing from a voice that's different. Before, you heard from ministers, you heard from pastors, you heard from people who were obviously had a more maturity in terms of age. Today, I have a young person who's going to share their journey, and so I want this particular video not just to touch only just the church because of the people that we currently have in terms of the more mature crowds, but the youth. Now, I'm not saying that she's in her teens. You're not in your teens, are you? No, right. But I know that she's a young person and she's been doing this for a while. And so today it is my pleasure, my honor to introduce to you my lovely sweetheart here, Analisa. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome. I know today you're going to be sharing something that's going to be different. It's going to touch so many hearts of so many young people because a lot of young people think it's not possible. Now, some of them are doing it. We recently had a couple in the news in Barbados in the paper, a young couple, I think they were in the early 20s, and they're waiting till marriage. Well, the guy said that he wasn't a virgin, but the young lady, she's a virgin, and he's waiting. So I think it's really good that they share their story, and I wanted them to be on this show too, actually, but they declined, and that's all right because I can understand the pressure that young people are facing. It's why it's so important for me to have you on the show today because you're a young voice, you're a beautiful lady, and to have you keeping yourself and making sure that you're doing what is required, for your body and for God and for yourself, obviously your own morals and values and everything, I think it's important to have your voice. So thank you so much for accepting my invitation. Thank you. So guys, if you're new to this channel, please do not forget to subscribe. I encourage you to watch the intro video so that you have an idea what this channel is about, what this show is about. As I said in my intro, this channel is never ever to condemn anyone or judge anyone. We are sharing our journeys, our stories, our experiences with you. So if you're new, please subscribe. If you want to receive every new video, there's a little bell somewhere there. You can press that bell. I should probably check to see where that bell is located.
It's probably like on the left.
It's on the left?
Yeah.
So it's right there on your left. Thank you. It's on your left.
And watch you way too much.
You can press that bell and you will receive every new video. I'm still yet to come up with a steady day as to when I will post for this channel because I have so much going on that I want to be dedicated to posting weekly. However, I'm not dedicated to posting a particular day as yet. So just bear with me, okay? And I thank you in advance for being with me. So let's get into today's topic, does sexual purity matter? And so, Analisa, I want to ask you this question. When the Bible spoke about training up a child in the way that the child should go, and for you, obviously, you're still here, you're a virgin. The other ladies, most of the other ladies I had on show, they were going through their celibacy journey and they were celibate. So for you, when you heard these teachings like train up a child, is this what happened in your home?
Well, actually, I didn't grow up as a Christian, so there weren't biblical principles.
Wow, you see, I knew your voice was going to be different today. I knew it. I'm listening.
There weren't biblical principles set in my household because I grew up as a Hindu.
Yes.
I grew up with I moved around a lot.
Yes.
But growing up as a child, there was a different aspect from, as I grew, the reason changed.
Yes.
So growing up, I didn't have my dad, and I went through a lot of things that at that time I was, I don't want to have my children go through what I went through.
Wow.
So at that time, that was my mindset. I didn't want to be with someone, and I ended up having.
This is so different. So you looked at your parents, you looked at your dad. In your heart, you decided, I don't myself, and even so, I definitely don't want my kids to go through this. That's different. That's so important. Whereby I know folks who, when they're growing up, what they saw in their household, they become.
Right.
And even though in their heart they may not want it because of that yearning and that lack of, I guess, the values that they probably required and need at the time, they just went the opposite direction. So I think that's really good. I think that's really good that you can, that young age, you looked and you saw and you were like, no, this is not for me. So it was for you, it was not from a biblical standpoint.
No.
It was not from, because not every household are Christians, not every household is a Christian household. So, but their households, whether or not they're Christians, teaches their children to be celibate, to be pure, to be sexually pure, not to go out there, not to give up their bodies. They teach them these things. So it's not just because you're Christian, because then there are Christian households who are not teaching their kids this. So I don't even want to make it that. So that's why I said I'm so glad that you shared that, because we do have people who watch this show and they have actually made comments to others that if the show is just for Christians and if it's just sharing about our Christian experiences. No. So that's what you said is so important. You had these values prior to being a Christian. There are households who the parents share these values with them. Do not, and talk to them about sex. Refrain from sex. Wait till you're married. All of that. There are households who do that. So I'm so glad that you voiced that. So that's really good. Thank you for that. But in terms of your household, what areas then were your character in terms of molding that and helping you to be steadfast in that decision making? Like when you made that decision, what helped you? It was just your strong will?
Well, like I said, I didn't grow up with a dad, and because I didn't grow up with a dad, my mom then had to leave.
Yeah.
And all of that, everyone. Well, there might be someone else in my situation, and they might have a different perspective.
Oh yes, absolutely.
And they might want to steer the life in a
yes,
different direction.
Absolutely.
But for me, God always had a calling.
Yes.
And I guess I just wanted to see, like, I always had this longing for a family.
Oh wow.
I always wanted.
Wow. That just touched my heart. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is so beautiful.
Because, and like I said, I moved around a lot.
Yes.
So I had this feeling of being unwanted sometimes.
Yes.
So then again, like I said, I didn't want my children to have that feeling.
Yes.
And then my mom had to end up leaving Guyana when I was about 7.
Yes.
So then not only did I not have a dad, but I didn't have a mom.
Oh wow. How old were you when she left?
My mom was 7, my dad was 3 when he left. Well, sorry.
You were.
I was.
I was like, what?
I'm sorry. I was
so
3.
You were 3.
When my dad left.
And 7 when your mom left. Oh wow, that's
yeah.
young.
Yeah.
Wow. And so at some point, as you continue your age to grow, and I think that's so amazing. That is so amazing. You guys, this is awesome stuff. That is amazing. As you said, some kids would have obviously, because of that desire for family, like some guy could have entered their life from young age and give them this idea of a family, and they could have gravitated towards that lifestyle instead. So I think there's something in you, when we are not Christians, there's a word that said that when we are not saved, obviously the Holy Spirit can be with us. There's some people that the Holy Spirit is with us, but not in us at that time. So I'm strongly believing here now that the Holy Spirit was with you. He was keeping you. And I think that's amazing. That's amazing. So you see, guys, it's not about you just being a Christian. That's the reason why, you're having these values and these morals and want to keep yourself to marriage, and all of that. So you heard it right here. And she's young.
Yeah.
Okay, and she made those decisions when she were way younger. She's still young. Amen to that. So, so now that you're a Christian, have you then been trained how to continue this journey, not to break it? Because we know, obviously, that the devil is busy.
Yes.
And he can come with all kinds of tricks and gimmicks. So you might have kept yourself all that time non-Christian, and now that you are, has there been a time where you've been trained as in teachings in the word and so on?
For sure, the church that I go to,
I know.
we don't play at all.
I know.
There has been relationships where I just had to cut it off because
Yeah.
there is this one guy, because I still have the desire for a family.
Oh yeah.
And I still do,
Yes, of course.
And sometimes it's so hard because it's like, God, where is he?
Yeah.
Time's going. Well, I young, I'm very young, but you know, you want to get started on having someone to share everything with.
Of course.
And there was this guy. I wasn't a strong Christian, but I still had my morals. I still had my value.
That is so beautiful.
And this guy, he was just like, you know, it's either we have sex or he's gone. I'm like, well, bye.
Yes, well, bye. You heard that? I love that. Tell them again what you told him.
Bye.
Bye.
And now,
I love that.
Now I realize I have a catchphrase. Like, if someone come to me and they're like, they want, I'm like, boy, bye.
Oh my gosh. No, maybe you coined that. Maybe you're the one who coined that boy bye. What? Boy bye?
Boy bye.
Don't let me bite my tongue. Boy bye. You heard that. So young ladies, young guys, you heard that. If it's a girl, say girl bye. Right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I think that's so cool.
And
so, sorry, no, you go ahead.
And I was in a relationship. I mean, it was an amazing relationship. We never actually went beyond, because from the beginning we set our goals.
Yes.
We made a promise to each other and with God that, you know, we're gonna wait until we
So
get
he
married.
was a Christian as well.
Yes.
Wow.
So you know what you attract.
Oh yes.
So this is eventually after breaking up with.
Yes.
Yeah. We set our boundaries and everything, and you know, God always been telling me to go out and get a purity ring. But I never really studied, because I'm like, God, I'm already with him, and
right.
you know, you can be stubborn sometimes.
Oh yes.
But eventually he left to go away for college, and it ended up ending.
Oh.
And God was like, I tell you, go get your purity ring. So there was this one day, you know, the Holy Spirit, when he's ready, he would not leave you alone.
Yes, I know.
And I was looking at some on Amazon. I'm like, okay, I could order it and it will get to you in X, Y amount of time. The Holy Spirit was like, no.
No.
Yes.
No.
So I actually left home and I came to town. I messaged everyone I knew.
Oh, wow.
Like, where can I find a purity ring? And I was walking town. I was upset. I wasn't able to find the one that I was looking at on Amazon, but I found something. And
so you're wearing it now?
Yes, I am.
Oh wow! So there it is. She's wearing her purity ring.
Yes. Never leave home without it. Even when I sleep, I still sleep with it, because it's a reminder.
Yes.
And what I did is,
but if you can tell the folks about this ring and what it means to you and how it reminds you of keeping pure and that promise that you made to the Lord, because it's a purity ring, but it's as you said, it's a reminder, so it's a promise.
Yeah.
It's like a vow that you made to the Lord, a commitment.
Yeah. So after I got this ring, every time I look at it, it's like, okay, not only do I know about it and God know about it, I have people that are keeping me accountable.
Yes.
Because you know, accountability is something that a lot of people struggle with. So at the day I got the ring, I actually went to church the same evening, and I had our overseer, which is Apostle. I had him pray over it, and of course he doesn't pray any nice prayers. But not only him, but there was also a few other people. Well, it was after church, because you know, you can't let everybody get into your business.
That's it.
But he prayed over it, and there were other people there that, you know, if this, I now know that if they don't see me with the ring, it's gonna be like, Analisa, what's up? So, you know, it's a reminder, and every time I look at it, it's like, you know, every time I thought, because, you know, the devil puts seeds in your mind sometimes, and it's just like, no, because God has his best for me yet to come.
That's right. Amen to that. I love that. Okay, so I must ask you this question. And I probably know the answer, but for the viewers, I'm sure you would want to know, because obviously once you have an aspect of your life that's under control, people tend to think that because of that, you don't think that you're better than others. You don't think that you got it going on and all is well in your home, meaning, you know, your vessel, your body, your continence. So I must ask you this question: do you think then that you are holier than thou because of this?
Of course not. Of course not. You know, everybody has a different journey.
Yes.
This is just something that the Holy Spirit spoke to me about, that God spoke to me about, and at some point everyone will have their own conviction. You know, if that's your journey to take, but everyone have their own journey, everyone have their own path.
That's right. Do you think sexual purity is an area that the church should be contending more for in prayer for the young people and their people in general?
I believe so.
Yes. But is that happening Like I know, as you said, I know you're apostle, so I know when you put down a prayer, it's a prayer that will shake up heavens and shake up the demonic kingdom. So I know that he's praying. So that's one church. At our ministry, we have prayer meetings, and we, even when we used to have our Take It by Force prayer meeting on Tuesdays, which we have that now every day. Somebody's praying. We contend for the nations, but we contend for our youth especially, because we, people say it, but I'm not sure if they believe it. They are the next generation. So if they're dying out by diseases, if they're just out there being promiscuous and doing all these things. So even though it's not the only sin, fornication is not the only sin, sexual immorality is not the only sin. It's like you're trying to save a generation, because I spoke to a nurse once, and she gave me a statistics of diseases with our young people, and it was astonishing. The numbers, and what she told me blew my mind. So many young people are coming in with diseases, STDs. So many of our young people. And yes, some people may say, "Oh, it's not a death warrant. It's not like as soon as they hear it, they have a disease." But there's some people who, when they find out that they have a disease, they go and they commit suicide, and then you're gonna think about marriage. Yes, you can marry someone who you know has a STD. It's your choice. That's between you and the person, but it's still a way of the enemy killing out our youth. I personally believe that. It's still a way of him getting to our youth, having them, and sometimes when, like I remember I had a dream, and the Lord continuously give me dreams where our youth, when they're concerned in terms of their sexual promiscuous, what was the word now? Being promiscuous. I've had dreams where I've seen that our youth, oh my gosh, they are like all over the place, just being high, and it's not like if they're protecting themselves. They love the risk, they love that high adrenaline that comes on when they're doing something risky and risky. So it's just the nature of the times that we're in now. So I think more prayer should go up. I think separate prayer times should be held in a church just for the young people, solely for the young people, solely for the youth.
Yeah, and I think the church doesn't understand how important this is, because I visited other churches, and when I got into the churches, because I'm already trained in keeping myself pure, keeping myself, and when I see these young girls and young boys, I'm like, what? Listen, there was one time I went to I think it was a big concert with different churches coming together, and they had people from different countries and all that kind of stuff. So it was a huge thing.
Yes.
And it had young ladies on the stage on the praise team, and the skirt was so short.
I think sometimes too this happens. Like for example, a person can enter a church with the short clothes, dressed anyhow. It doesn't matter so much how they enter, but then you have to be able to give them the word and give them the training and all of that to help them. You don't go to them and say, well, okay, you got to change your clothes. No. What you do, give them the word and let the word convict their heart. So sometimes you have people who, they're only hearer of the words, but they're not doer of the words. Then you have people who are not convicted. They're convicted in the moment. So some leaders, they teach this. Some, I don't know. So I can't speak on the ones who, but some people, they hear the word, they're not following the word. Some people, they're convicted in the moment of the word, they leave, and then, the word talks about when you leave, and then it's taken away from you. So you have a variety of people who comes to a church. So you're not going to find all who's going to be. And then there's some who come in and their hands up and they're all into it, and it's just for appearance. So when the appearance is finished with what the eyes can see, they then leave and enter into their own mode of doing things. Right. And so obviously, like for example, we have a particular festival that is once a year in Barbados, and it's for the young people as well. And somebody said, oh, we're not going to go to that particular festival anymore, because when we go, the young folks, they're gyrating and behaving just as bad as if they're gone to a worldly party. Like they're gyrating on each other and all the different attire and everything. Right. It is, just all out there. And so the persons now the organizers for this festival, they're like, but I think that they see this, but it's almost like they want to overlook that, because they're saying, but it's a way to gather the young people together. I have my views, really and truly. I think you should probably put some stipulations on that, because if you say that, but then they come and then, you know, they get this wild and wassy kind of behavior, and then it could end up with them having sex that same night. You know, because if you're going to gyrate on a person, that's a sexual move. Yeah. So, yeah. So that's just my view.
I think this goes beyond the church.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely goes beyond the church, because, you know, that has become a norm.
Yeah.
It has become a norm everywhere in the world. And, you know, growing up, like, if a parent saw you doing that, you would get some slaps.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I think now a lot of parents are just happy that the kids are going to church, the ones that are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just happy because my child is going to church. You know, they never used to go, so they're going now, so I'm happy with that. But you want them to go, but also still, you know, instilling them the value. So even if they go out to these festivals, that's okay. It's a Christian festival. And they can jump. We had something here recently, right? And we were all jigging, but we weren't jigging in a way that was, you know, sexual and of that nature and stuff. So, yeah. So it's a difference. You still have to train them and teach them these things. So do you think that people in this generation, which we kind of sort of mentioned a little bit, cares about sexual purity? Or is it just a biblical thing and they're like, oh, that's a biblical thing. Nobody's trying to follow that right now.
I've actually heard people say that is so old school.
Mm-hmm.
It is like, and you know, because you keep seeing that every generation going down, it's worse and worse and worse. They care less and less and less.
Yes.
Because, you know, and it had to start at some point, because, you know, it had the parents that would install these,
It's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
Yeah, they would teach your children these values, and then maybe someone messed up in that same thing. They now had a child, maybe as a teenager in school.
Different set of values.
Yep.
I've seen that, and it happens, and it's sometimes like a parent would have like 5 kids, and the youngest child is the one that can do whatever. Anything goes. It's almost like you say, okay, this one stressed me. This one stressed me. This last one, I'm not even bothering my head. That's some households. But you're absolutely right. There was a time I was driving along somewhere in Barbados, and I saw 2 very young girls in their overall. So that means that they're about the ages of 12, 13 or something like that. And they were actually making out by the bus stop.
Wow.
In broad daylight. Yes, by the bus stop. 2 young girls. Now, years ago, this would have been something that they would have done behind closed doors, because now this is the accepted norm. So they're like, we don't care. And we don't care if somebody sees us that knows our families and tell them, we just don't care. So that's the mindset of a lot of the youth these days. So I believe strong prayer need to really go up.
Yeah, and then I think there's a stage of rebellion.
Yes, oh yes.
As well. Because I know there are some people that, you know, they see parents just pushing it down their throats, and they're just like, I'm not having it, because you know, we do not take the time to actually explain to them what is the consequence of this, what's the consequence of that. So the fact that the parents is just like, you can't have sex.
That you actually cannot just say you can't do it. You have to give them a reason why. Explain, take the time. They're gonna make mistakes. When the mistakes happen, you guide them. You know, and eventually it's gonna get it. It's gonna be stuck. It's just the way you go to church and you hear the word. It stays. Eventually it's like, wow, you know what, I've been hearing this, but today I'm convicted. Today I'm convinced that I have to make a change. I have to go in my heart and say no more. So after you keep guiding them, but listen, I grew up with a mom, and I'm going to tell you this right now. Mistakes, if we call it mistake, anything at all that you did wrong, oh my gosh, there was no question asked. So I understand what you just said very well. There were no questions asked about how it happened, what happened, when it happened. Lashes. Okay? Lashes. You could have been the person that's in the right or wrong. It didn't matter to her. Lashes. Listen, I still have scars. They're barely visible now from my mom, with somebody who actually went to my mom and lied. And I was like, at that young age, I was 12, 13. I said, how could you have believed this? Like, this doesn't even sound like me. She was like, you were there? So, she didn't even ask me if I was there. Yes, she just assumed, which I was there, but this thing was a lie, concocted lie. I got a whooping out of this world. Oh, yes. So, as you said, a lot of times parents don't really ask what happened and don't know how. Sometimes they don't know how to train that child. So even though the words are trained for child, some parents actually don't know. But my thing is, if you don't know, seek help. Because I can understand that some parents that are parents are not really parents. So they may not know how to train that child. Therefore, seek help. Seek somebody that can help you. Anyway, moving along. So let's ask this famous question now. So is there a guy now in your life?
No, there's not.
Oh, so she's single. Young, beautiful, single, and such great values. Oh my gosh, I love her already. So do you have intentions, I believe, one day to, you mentioned earlier that you want to have a family, and of course, because you're saving yourself, we know that you obviously your mindset is like, one day I'll have a boyfriend who would then lead to my fiance and then marriage. This is something obviously that you desire.
Yes.
And I think it's important that because I mean you're wearing your ring, so that is clear to me that this is something you want. I think it's a great idea for other young folks that if it's something they want, that it's work and it takes work for you to get a lot of work. I mean, young woman with feelings and I mean, one of the things I even want to ask you even now is like, what do you do when these feelings come? Like, what are some of your protocols and boundaries that you've set for yourself as a young person to help you to maintain this purity?
Okay, well, like I said, with my ex, we took it back old school. We used to say we're not dating, we're courting.
Right.
And at the beginning, we set boundaries. You know, we're not going to go over by each other's house unless there's a parent there.
Oh wow.
We just made sure we were never alone.
So at no point you guys were ever alone?
Listen, I have a joke, right? There was this one time I was by my spiritual parents' house, and then the guy didn't live too far, and he came over because we were supposed to hang out that day, but then they had to end up leave and go into town. And it was so funny because this is when we first started.
Yes.
They actually it was so weird, but they actually called and we had a video call while me and the guy was still in the house.
Now I know you're a spiritual dad, so I listen, I completely know this is something he would do. Oh my gosh.
And the thing is, I have so many parents that they're all keeping me accountable.
Oh wow, no, I think that's really good though. Yeah. That's really good.
And then eventually, you know, and then we had cutoff time at the end of the night. At first, it was just like, I still want to talk to you.
Yes.
But actually, that one was not a boundary that we set. It was something that his dad had put into place, and we didn't understand it at the time.
That's really, really good. I think it's really good to have boundaries and values. So this is so you're virgin all the way, never kissed, nothing.
Well, I have kissed, but then I have to stop because I realized it was.
Yeah, so you see, that's good because you know kind of like your limit, your cutoff. It's like if I kiss and I continue, obviously this can lead to other things because it arouses other things in you. I think that's really good. I'm not sure if you watched my episode where I had a young lady and she also was a virgin. She also is a virgin. Yeah. And she's never been kissed either. Yeah. Well, not neither because you have been. But she has never been kissed, and I thought that was cool because I was like,
that's different.
That's real different.
It's real unique.
That's real unique. That's real different because I'm not gonna lie, I'm saved now. But if I wasn't saved, or even in the early days as a young person, the Lord knew what He was doing with me. Because I would have wanted to kiss, but the Lord knew what He was doing because I believe that I would have been that person who, like you said, would have had to have that cut off and say, okay, no, I can't do it. I would have been that person. And as she shared, she knew, even though she has never been kissed, she knows herself. So she was like, if I do this. So it's important to know self, yeah? And I think that's one of the things and problems that we have with our young people. They don't know self. So they think, I have to give you of my body for you to want me, for you to love me, for you to care about me. I have to give you something that's so precious and valuable and so worthy that I have for you to want to be with me. And sometimes it's a sense of wanting to feel like to belong, like to be in a circle. Other friends are doing it and it's a cool thing, so Why not? Let's do it. There's no thought process that's placed on value and the worth of it. And I guess too is because if it's instilled at home, sometimes, like I have a niece, and I know they're up to some dirty talk sometimes when they're ready. I'm not stupid, okay, nieces. I know that. They go out, they hang out, and of course they're around their friends. I drill her sometimes in a very tactical way, and I would ask her certain questions, give her different angles that she doesn't exactly know what I'm coming about, what I'm talking about. So sometimes I get information that she's like, I think my auntie just tricked me. So, but I know her, and so I know how to talk to her. And I'm listening to her and I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, hold up, a boy who, where, when, what? And no, they're both virgins, yes, but the thing is, some of the conversations that they're having on their phones, and it's still not right. It can lead to, let's meet. And when you do meet now, you know what happens? Who's there to control that?
Exactly.
So it's a lot. So I'm always telling her, I'm not her mom. I could only speak as an aunt, and I would like to think that my voice is strong enough and important enough to her that she would at least, listen and have it ring out in her head in moments where there's no one to say, So I'm like, listen, you gotta be careful. This boy thing, just leave it alone for now. You're too young, because she just turned 14. I think the other one is now 15. It's too young. I understand having a friend, and you, as you say, you have cutoff times, but I can tell you right now, their parents are not saying cutoff times this and that. No, as you said, that was like a little bit old school and courtship and all of that. However, I think for me personally, if I have a daughter that's that age, I think that is for me, I would have, if she said to me, Mom, I have a boyfriend, there's a friend, a boy is a friend, boyfriend, I like it. I want her to be honest with me. I want to have and build that type of relationship and that structure with her, that she can be open and honest with me, and tell me like, these are my feelings, and let me help her along with those feelings, and let me help her, to understand when these feelings come, what to do and how to handle, how to manage them. I think it's important, because we, as much as we're saying all of this, we cannot really truly control that.
Exactly.
We can't really control that narrative. So I think that it's really important. How do you safeguard now your mind? Because we know obviously that our minds can think about some things that we shouldn't when it comes to lusting and sex. And as I said to one lady in the video, when you look and you see all the nice guys, especially you're a young woman and there are so many good looking guys, and if it's a guy watching, so many good looking women out there. I mean, look at yourself, beautiful, young, fresh, vibrant. You're a dancer as well at your church. You worship that. What do you call it?
I like to refer it as worshipers.
A worshiper. Okay,
Yeah.
so she's a worshiper. I saw you dancing. I know you're fancy and all of that. I saw you. Yeah. So when guys see you, we know that obviously they can look at you and say, "Oh, this is a catch." But at the same time, in your own heart, you have set up your values. So even though they may see this, you have your values there. So it's like they can't break that. But some households and some young people, they don't have that. As soon as they see somebody, as soon as the person give them what we call it, sweet talk, is that the sweet talk go to a place where there's nothing that it can bounce off that will say, no, this is my defense, it's not happening. So how do you safeguard your mind? How do you protect your mind?
Well, I've actually had persons ask me before, there was this guy I used to talk to, and he just could not believe the journey that I was on. So he was literally questioning everything, and at the end he couldn't find anything to prove that I was lying, because
so he thought you were lying?
Yes.
Oh wow! So it was unbelievable to him that you at this age is a virgin.
Yeah, because at 21-year-old, where do you find that? And he actually asked me, like, when thoughts come to you, what do you do?
Yes.
Like, do you just take a cold shower, or
wow,
do you take a cold shower?
Wow! I so understand that. So what do you do?
I actually, believe it or not, because how my spirit is, as long as I have a feeling, I will actually start reading my Bible.
Yes.
It's weird, but it works for me. I will start reading my Bible or do praise and worship.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that's the word. I love that. I love that. So you see, don't stress, don't worry. there's something that there was an article I was reading recently. It said, what do you do when you wait? But she's waiting, but she's not like occupying her time with lustful thoughts and all of that. She's saying, I'm waiting, but I'm going to wait well. So you can wait well, or you can wait horrible. You can be a horrible waiter, doing everything and saying, I'm waiting, but I'm going to date this guy. I'm waiting, but I'm going to date this lady. I'm waiting, but I'm going to go and do what I feel like. No, that's not waiting. That's doing your own thing. So you can wait, but wait well. So you wait, and when those urges come, you read, and yes. I know for you this is really important that you're sharing this, and because a lot of times, especially not even just because you're young, there are folks who I would invite to the show, they're going to tell me no because they don't want the world and people, even though we can help so many people to know, to see, and be invited into our hearts of where we are, even though because it may somehow make you not look like you are perfect or have it all together. Well, I don't have it all together. Do you have it all together? We don't have it all together. But we're people who are taking a step daily to apply the Word of God, and what we've learned, and have that be something that we look at, and then we move on that, and that's how we actually apply that excellence. It's daily. It's not to say you wake up and you have a struggle and you just say, oh, I'm going to just fall to the struggle. No. You apply the Word, you worship, you pray, you go and you meditate and have conversation with the Holy Spirit. And believe me, something that He said, or even if it's not that, you may have a friend that is a good person, that's a mentor, and they could have said something to you. Like she mentioned, she had her apostle that spoke into her life. She could remember something that he mentioned to her, something he said, and she would say, no, my apostle said to me that I should not do this, or I should do this, so I'm going to follow that, because that's what you call divine instructions, and divine guidance. So I really like that. So how important is it for you to share your lifestyle of your sexual purity today to me and obviously to the viewers?
I am so happy you asked that, actually, because growing up it was a struggle, and even as a 21-year-old, it's sometimes a struggle.
Yes. Because
it's like this is so weird. People look at you different. But I ended up finding role models.
Wow. That's
so
good.
It's the people that you have in your life.
Yes.
And I realized I had to end up cutting out some of my friends because they're like, oh, you cannot have a relationship without sex.
That's
you cannot,
right.
So it's just like, that's fine.
Yes.
And something, you need encouragement. And there's a lot of things out there that could help you.
Oh yes.
I remember Megan Good.
Yes,
Yes, sorry.
I love her.
When they came out with the weight, I was like, thank you. And it's amazing because someone is on this journey with you. You're not alone.
That's it.
And there's a lot of people on YouTube.
Yes.
YouTube.
Maybe you should be sharing it with them. Tell them this journey and how important it is for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a lot of people on YouTube that you could actually go and see that they waited, and some are still single, some are engaged, and some are married.
Yes.
And you could see that they growth. Sometimes they didn't start from birth. They didn't do the whole purity thing, but they were celibate at some point, and they waited, and they actually testified to the goodness of why wait. There's people, find someone that you could talk to about it. That's find a role model. Like I said, that was a big help to me. Find people that's going through the same journey with you. So for me, if I could help someone, that's all that I care about. Maybe this can encourage just one person.
That's right.
And that's all that matters.
That's right. I like what you said about it encouraging one person, because when I share in these videos, or even on my prayer channel, which is Taken by Force Prayer Movement, if you haven't or know about it, you can check it out. When I share on there, I always say, and I pray this, and I said, even if it's one person that's blessed, then I've done what I'm supposed to. So so I like what you said, even if there's one person that's going to hear this video and decide, I'm going to make this change based on what Analisa have shared today, then we have done well. Amen. So let's get to our last question. I think I had you here long. If you can, from your own experience on staying sexually pure, which is, as of course you're a virgin, can you lend your voice to the youth? Now you're speaking directly to the youth. can you lend your voice to the youth, the young people, about this journey and how important it is for them to be encouraged to stay on that journey? So this is your big aha moment.
What I will say is you have to know your worth, you have to know your value. There's a lot of aspects that goes into staying pure. It's not just spiritual, but it does something to you. It does something to your self-confidence. You do not need a guy to show you who you are. You do not need a girl to show you who you are. You know, have that self-confidence within. You know, build yourself and know your value, know your strengths, know your weaknesses, because knowing that is very important. I would say it's very important because even if you're not a Christian, you're honoring yourself, and it's something that you will live to testify about. You know, and if you are a Christian, then you know how important this is. If you don't, then find somebody that can encourage you. You know, we've been taught that when you have sex with someone, that person is actually giving you part of them, and you're giving them part of you. So if you go out and you have sex with, say, 5 different persons, then when you're ready to marry, you have all these people connected to you, and you might want to know, like, I never used to behave like this before. Where is it coming from? It's because of the person you had sex with. That person had those attitudes, they had those behavior, so they transferred into your spirit, and now you're behaving that way. So
awesome, beautiful. Thank you for that. So you heard it from her. You have to be what? You have to learn that you do not need to have sex to be confident, to know your value, your worth. If you would seek, though, to know who you are in God, know your identity, the very purpose of why you were created, I think that will help you a lot. I personally believe, and has been shown many times, that our youth, especially, they do not know who they are. When they do not know who they are, they accept what another person tells them that they are. So today I hope that you're encouraged and that you are going to make a change. I pray that transformation will come upon you even now to make that switch in the name of Jesus. So thank you so much for sharing. So really, I did not even, you notice I had my questions, but I was just flowing with you. That I just allow it to flow and just allow it to go however. So thank you. Give me some sugar. Yeah, she is a sweetheart, and I'm so thankful that you were open and shared everything. So there you have it, guys. Young, you know, you can be young, beautiful, vibrant, and courageous like her, okay? And I'm sure some guys are like, it's easier for women. No, it's not. Guys, you can do it too. I know of a guy who he was 19 or 20 or something, I don't remember the exact age, and he was a virgin. I'm not sure, but no, I haven't spoken to him in a long time, but he was a virgin. So we know it is possible. So may God bless you, and may God keep you, and may His grace carry you through this journey. God bless you, God bless you. I love you, I love you. Do not forget to comment down below if this video has been a blessing to you, and tell them where they can find and if you want to be part of this channel, do not forget to write to the NinaAirShow@gmail.com. Also share with them where they can find you. Know you have your Instagram and so on and so on.
Oh, for sure. You can find me on Facebook or Instagram. I think both my names are Analisa.Soma. Yes, S-O-M-A. It's ANALISA.SOMA.
So there you have it. You can find her Analisa.Soma. And she has Facebook and
Instagram, and I have Snapchat, but that's
I follow her, so you can follow her too. Oh, you follow me? I don't know, but we follow each other. We follow each other. So thank you guys. Love you. Bye. That was great. Thank you. Thank you.